In this video, we'll be going over how to validate demand for your SaaS via cold outbound. Now, look, I get it. For a lot of founders, right, the project that we are working on is like our own newborn baby. We care for it a lot. It's our own baby, right? But every baby needs oxygen and every product needs a market to operate and function in. So does your SaaS. If there is no demand, then there is no oxygen. It's a waste of time. Sadly, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars are burned, and it's incredibly demotivating to see something that you worked so long on fail. How do we avoid this? What is the solution to this? What is the alternative to this? What is the goal? When building a company, you need to figure out whether, whenever you're building a product, you need to figure out whether people are actually facing a problem right now in the market. Does that product solve a real world problem? For example, Salesforce solves a problem that salespeople face, which is efficient customer engagement. It's been able to do a really good job at it, so it's been here for a long time since its founding in 1999. The goal is to build something that people actually want, something that can solve a big problem in their lives, may that be business or personal, effectively, at least in their eyes, that is. If you want to make money from your SaaS product, you got to do it, right? You got to make them at least believe that you are solving a real problem for them. Instead of using this framework where you build a product first and then try to see if people would actually pay for it, a game of hope, a game of chance, instead of gambling, use this. Do market research and find out real problems that you can solve in the desired space that you want to enter in. Build an MVP or prototype product that solves for the problem. MVP meaning minimum viable product. And then sell that prototype or MVP in the form of an early launch or a beta release or whatever you want to call it. And then take the new funds that you've acquired and invest that into product, refining your product, developing the product even further, and so on. Continue. That's what and is a better framework that you can use. Now, how do we find real-world problems to solve? The first step is to define what industry you're going to be serving and then start digging into what real and heavy-hitting problems in that industry that you can solve specifically. Again, the question here is how exactly do you go about doing that? Now, here's how people usually conduct market research. It includes surveys and questionnaires, interviews, focus groups, secondary research including utilization of existing data and research from sources like industry reports, market studies, academic papers, and so on. Basically through online databases, search engine searches or research, competitive analysis. You see what other people are doing. You do observational research and so on as well. These are a few common methods of market research. Now, are these bad? No. Can this be made more efficient? Yes. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Again, how can this be made more efficient? That's going to be the next question, right? The answer to that is here. Here's a process that you can follow. Map out your ICP, that is the ideal client profile, or who your ideal customer is. Then check out Coda articles, Google searches, industry community, Reddit groups, so on, and even check out ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT as well. Real questions, right? Questions that you may have around the problems that the market is facing. Are they facing a real problem? How can we exactly solve it? What exactly is painful about it? Why is it painful? What negative consequences is it generating? Things like that. And then use that data to create cold outbound campaigns to get further in-depth data, get some interviews basically. Now, first of all, you may have the question, why should I even care? Why should I choose cold outbound? Here's the answer. Market research usually has to be done on a one-by-one basis, which can be incredibly time-consuming. Imagine if you could reach out to thousands of people in your ideal customer profile at one go. That's the power of cold outbound campaigns if done the proper way. Instead of this, where you do a one-by-one basis slowly, it could be this, where you reach out to thousands at scale. Now, here's how you go about setting up a cold market research campaign. Right, that would be the next question, right? How do we go about setting up a cold outbound campaign dedicated to market research? I like to call it the cold market research campaign. We are running cold outbound campaigns with the purpose of acquiring insights into the market at scale. We can have our ICP just fill out surveys or answer questions straight up in email, or even have them book a call for a quick 10 to 15 minute interview where we ask them in-depth questions and have increased our in-depth understanding of the market. What needs to be kept in mind? Number one, who are we targeting? How are we building the list of people who we want to target? That is our ICP. How do we structure our messaging to make the ask easy? What is the copy that we're going to be using? How do we introduce ourselves? How do we make it easy for them to say yes to our call to action? That is CE. What is the call to action, right? Do they just fill out surveys or answer questions straight up in email? Or do we have them book a call for a quick 10 to 15 minute interview where we ask them in-depth questions? You got to decide that as well. Now, the next thing, the fourth thing, is to figure out how do we set up our infrastructure so that we can reach out to thousands of people at scale. You got to keep all those things in mind. Here's the general guide or overview of the process. You create a list of 5,000 to 10,000 people in your ICP, create multiple variants of offer, copy, and so on that you can test. Right? What are they going to be exactly offering? What specific problem we're going to be solving? Based around that, you're going to be creating copy. You're going to be creating multiple variants of those, and then you basically have them ready for testing. And then use an automated system for cold outreach such as Smart Lead, and basically send out the email and DM copy to your lead list of 5,000 to 10,000, and then you acquire data from that. That's pretty much the 10,000 feet overview. Here are some things that you want to look out for. The metrics that you want to look out for when it comes to cold outbound is overall reply rate, how many people actually reply back, and then out of those, how many people actually positively reply, and then how many meetings are you able to get from those positive replies, how many interviews are you able to schedule from them. Those are the things that you need to look out for. Now, why most of these gurus say cold outbound doesn't work? They say cold outbound doesn't work because, number one, they got something else that they want to sell you. Number two, the method that they were using before didn't work for them. And because of that, they believe that cold outbound in general doesn't work for anybody, which is 100% false, incorrect. There are many companies that leverage outbound to generate pipeline, more book calls, and more closed deals. What are they doing in order to get those outcomes? Now, here's the change in the game of outbound, right? It has changed significantly in the last year. You need to keep this in mind while running campaigns. Gone are the days where it just used to be you scraping some leads from Apollo, loading up a basic email script and sequence inside Gmail, Outlook, or Apollo, and then blasting a ton of emails from one inbox to it transitioned to scraping some leads from Apollo, loading it up into a tool like Instantly, and then setting up some inboxes where slow emails or something like that inside Instantly, and then blasting emails. It's 2024. All those rules have changed significantly. If you choose to do the same thing as back then all of your emails will land in spam, your domain reputation will be burnt as well, and your campaign will fall flat, wasting a bunch of your time. So how do we exactly set up the system so that it works properly? I have an in-depth guide that actually, walks you through. It gives you the step-by-step walkthrough of how you can build out your own outbound client acquisition engine, the templates, strategies, and frameworks you can use, how to generate and convert as much leads as possible as well. Now, it's a framework that anybody can use if they are looking to scale their SaaS. Of course, if you want the guide, it's free, by the way. Click the link below to get the guide, or DM me as well if you want it. With that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you.